Happy Monday and welcome back to another segment of Meeting of the Minds Mondays. I am your host, Intellects, and we are going to jump right on in, okay? All right, so before we get into our topic for today, just a couple of announcements, our commercial break first and foremost. All right, so if you have a brand or business, if you need any assistance with being your best self, connect with us today. Go to intellects.com, see all the products and services that we offer, book a free consultation so you can get a customized plan for your specific artistic needs. Learn to just really hone in on what it is that you want to do and let us help you get there. Be a part of our intellectual community. Um, Join our app, the Artrepreneurs Hub, a place, an intimate space where you can be your unique artistic self and be around like minded individuals who you can share content with, collaborate with, and connect with on different levels. You never know who you can mesh with if you don't put yourself in those environments. All right, so go to the Mighty Networks app, create an account, search for us. We are right there. We also have a link at intellects.com. All right, so are y'all ready to get into our segment for today? So if you have been following us and been, you know, keeping up with what we got going on. We've been doing different series, and so we are continuing our series from last month, and that is Birthing Your Baby Part 4. So, what I want you to do in the comment section is to share how you birthed your baby, if you have one, if you have already birthed it. If you're in the process of birthing it, what are you doing to nourish that? And if you need help with birthing your baby, let us know. All right. And we don't mean physical babies, we mean purpose babies. All right. So we're going to jump right on in and get things going. All right. So let us know in the comments while you watch this video.
Finding our life's purpose. Isn't that what we all want? Don't we want more meaning, significance, and purpose in our life? A lot of us will ask ourselves, why are we here? I'm here to tell you, instead of starting with our why, we should end with it. New York Times did a study that only 25% of Americans truly know their life's purpose. People are just wandering through life not knowing why they're here. There's people in this room. And this statistic blew my mind. And as I started to understand purpose, as I traveled around the world, it took me about 10 years to understand what my life's purpose was. And I wrote a book, and one of the graphs I created in it is the cycle of unfulfilling purpose. And there's 4 steps. The first one is a transition. We all experience transitions in our life. It can happen in many forms. We can have a kid, we can get married, we graduate school, we can leave the sport that we thought we were going to be a professional at. Something traumatic could happen to us. A loved one could die. Something happens in our life that changes everything, leading us to the second step, which is confusion. Not knowing who we are anymore. Not knowing what our next step, lacking clarity and lacking direction in our life. This could be depressing and unmotivating. And the scary part is this could last for days, maybe years, maybe decades, maybe even a lifetime for some individuals. Then there's the third step, that if we're able to get out of confusion, we're able to build momentum. We're able to create results in our life. We get crystal clarity on what it is that we need to do, and we think we found our life's purpose. We found the job, and purpose is the reason why we do what we do. So I could be going to this job, I could be working my way up, providing for my family, I could have purpose. But if I then come to the fourth step, which is unhappiness and lack of fulfillment, that's the ultimate failure. And I look up and I ask, is there more to life than this? When we need to step out of the cycle and find our life's purpose, because when we find our life's purpose, we have happiness and fulfillment, and we have a desire to want to do more and be more. Because finding purpose is actually easy, but living our life's purpose and having fulfillment is life-changing. So if we look at the word purpose, P-U-R, the prefix is used to set forth beforehand. It's also using the word pure, so it's without blemish, the purest intention. And then pose is to suggest or intend. So purpose stands for the purest suggestion or intention that we set forth beforehand. So if we look at these chairs in this audience, the user can define the purpose, right? So some of you guys in the back are using it as a bed. You find the purpose there. I see you guys back there. Some of us use this purpose as an opportunity to learn and grow. And then some other people use that as an opportunity to rest our lower back and our knees, right? The purpose of the chair is defined by the user. But what about the creator of the chair, the invention? What was the purpose when the creator made the chair? And if the user's purpose is out of alignment with the creator's purpose, we're going to have unfulfillment and frustration, right? If I try to use this chair as a bed and that's not what the purpose of the chair was from the creator, I'm going to struggle. Same thing with our life. Our life's purpose was already predetermined before we were made. It was set forth beforehand. This changed everything for me because I thought I had to create purpose. I thought I had to create my life's purpose. But our creator, the highest being with purest intentions, with no flaw, decided our purpose before we're even here on this earth. So you guys can decide if you want to use your purpose or the creator's purpose in your life. Because the two most important days of our life are the day we find out why and the day we were born. One of my favorite quotes from Mark Twain. So our job is just to align ourselves with our creator's purpose for ourselves. So the first question, instead of why am I here, we ask ourselves, who am I called to serve? Because when I step into a place of service, I immediately have significance, purpose, and meaning in my life. It shifts the conversation from you to who. It's not about me anymore. I think about who can I help and who can I serve. And the reason why I know this is because our Creator has designed us this way. So here's a photo of our brain. It lights up like a Christmas tree when we serve individuals. This is called the helper's high. So a lot of research done on this. Your brain releases dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin. We feel incredible. It's also the same feeling that we have when we have sex, consume sugar, social media, substances like drugs and alcohol, and serving other people. All five of these are extremely addictive. You guys can decide which addiction you want to have. And the first four there are things that we do externally to serve ourselves, only ourselves. And the last one is something that has already been built within us internally that we can use to affect other people externally. So then the next question is, what problems am I called to solve? So who am I called to serve? Start with someone that you can relate to, that you have similar experiences with. And then the second problem is, the second question is, what problems am I called to solve? Because this is how we get paid. Now, who likes to get paid in here, right? Everyone. Because the problems that you solve are in direct correlation to the amount of money in your bank account. Because the bigger the problems, the bigger the solution. The smaller the problems, the smaller the solution. So start with someone that you can relate to, that you like working with, then figure out what problems do they have and what problems did you overcome in your life. And usually these can be found with traumatic experiences, life experiences that only you can talk about. I guarantee you there's someone else that has gone through the same situation and problem that you can help. And then the last question is, how am I called to solve this problem? And this is where you guys can get creative because there's 1,000 different ways to solve one problem. And with technology, every single day a solution is being created. But this is the easiest part. Once we know who we're called to serve and what problems we're called to solve, the solution becomes very evident. And from a logistical and strategic standpoint, we want to create the most effective and efficient solution to the problem so we can help the most amount of people in the world. So, who am I called to serve? What problems am I called to solve? And how am I called to solve this problem? This is going to create our purpose statement. I help who? With their problem through the solution. So I help young adults and business owners that lack clarity and confidence and direction in their life by helping them find their life's purpose through live events, books, and presentations. And we've been doing that for the last several years. So I validate my purpose with my why. Then this is when we come with the question, why do we do what we do? Look at your purpose statement. Then you ask yourself, why do I do it? Am I doing it for myself? For selfish gain? Am I doing it because I genuinely care and want to help others? Or am I doing it because I want to serve my Creator? Because when we serve our Creator, and that's at the epicenter of our life, we're expressing the highest form of love, because that was what was expressed when we were created. And what's going to happen is you're going to have three indicators. You're going to have peace. Do you have peace with what you're doing with it? Because if I think I have purpose and I don't have peace, I have to realign myself. Second thing is, do I have passion? Do I actually enjoy what it is that I do? Because we're all designed with different strengths and abilities on this earth to enjoy different things. So am I excited? Do I look forward to the day ahead? Am I excited to do what I am doing right now? And the last thing is, are people willing to pay me for it? Because we're supposed to provide for our loved ones and be able to use money as a vehicle to help other people in great causes as well. So our life's purpose is to serve our Creator by serving others, specifically through your purpose statement. And you guys can fill in the blanks there. So start with the who, end with the why, and validate it with that. I look forward to serving the world together. Thank you.
All right. What did y'all think about that? Did y'all agree? I hope so. I hope so. All right. So he broke it down and he focused on how finding your why should be the last instead of the first step, or ending with your why. Um, and he said that based on a study, only 20% know their actual purpose, which is unfortunate, which means a lot of us got some work to do to figure out what it is we're supposed to be doing, right? That's so important. When you know what you're here for, you can move accordingly. But when you're not, you're just blowing in the wind. Okay. He talked about the four cycles, which is transition, confusion, momentum, and unhappiness. And that you need to find and have fulfillment in life, you know. And the three questions that we should ask ourselves is, who are you called to serve? What problem are you called to solve? And how are you called to solve that problem? So, really learning how to find validation in your purpose. Um, and once you find that purpose, now you can discuss why you're doing what you're doing, because you already did the groundwork. And knowing that you serve your creator by serving others. So, you know, if you want to serve God, serve his people. All right. All right. So we're going to move right along. We're going to hear from Lisa Nichols and how she says we can unlock our purpose. So let's check her out.
Hi there, and welcome back to the Lisa Nichols Show, where I share with you the tools that you and I both need to live the life that we want to achieve, that life of happiness and abundance and joy, no regrets, peace of mind, great memories. I gotta tell you, I love reading your comments. They're like oxygen to me. See, I'm a teacher, and when I teach, it's not about what I thought about what I said. It's about what you got value from. It's about the ahas, the BOL, breakthrough out loud, the yana, you are not alone. All those moments of engagement. Man, that just makes me so, so happy. I think the question that I get the most is, Lisa, how do I discover my purpose? Or how do I rediscover my purpose? It's so difficult, Lisa, to move forward. What's the process? How do I get back to me? What should I do? I've even gotten emails and messages saying, I don't know who I am. Well, first of all, been there, experienced that. I remember in 1997, Jelani was 3 years old. And as I was just telling my team in a conversation, I looked up and somehow I had lost who I was. I knew I was Jelani's mom. I knew I was someone's girlfriend. I knew the employer that I worked diligently for. I knew who I was as a community activist. But I lost who I was as Lisa. I lost sight of who I was becoming and who I wanted to become. And as a result, my doctor said these words, Lisa, you are clinically depressed. What? Me? Didn't make sense. I'd already been a motivational speaker for 3 years. How could I be depressed? Those words don't seem to go in the same sentence, motivation and depressed. But I lost who I was. So I want to share with you this. Number one, your purpose evolves with you. So the thing you may have done 10 years ago, or 5 years ago, or 20 years ago, that thing that drove you, it might be complete. You forgot to graduate yourself. I think we have far too few graduations in life. I think we need to graduate far more often and have more graduations as adults. You may have graduated from raising children. You may have graduated from that series in high school. You may have graduated from this cycle of thought, belief, and mindset. Now it's time for something else. People want to discover their purpose. You may want to discover your purpose. I don't think you discover a purpose. I don't think you find a purpose. I think you uncover a purpose. I think that the things that you do naturally that bring you joy, literally, many times people think that they're not big enough to be called a purpose. But what is purpose? Purpose is something that you contribute to the planet that it wouldn't get in a particular way if you weren't here. Purpose doesn't mean it has a lot of likes on social media. Purpose doesn't equate with there's a lot of followers. Purpose doesn't equate to it makes you a lot of money. Purpose doesn't even equate to it's glamorous. That's not. All of that's marketing. Purpose says you do this effortlessly, and it brings value and adds value to those who happen to be blessed enough to cross your path. So number one, I say, let's not try to go and find purpose. Let's uncover purpose. What brings you joy? What do you do naturally? And oh, by the way, it doesn't scream loudly initially. You don't do it and goes, yes, this is it. Do me forever. No. Man, if you told me when I was talking to the administrative staff of DUI facilities, as I'm there as their customer service rep, teaching them how to work on this new thing called a computer. Yeah, I'm gonna date myself. But I put the first computers inside of DUI facilities way back, almost 30 years ago with the company that I worked for. And when I would go in, I'd say, this computer is gonna simplify your life. And everyone was so nervous. I asked my boss, can I just spend an hour inspiring them before I teach them the computer? And my boss said, okay, I guess so. And I spent an hour inspiring them before I taught them about this big, scary machine. And in that hour, something woke up in my belly. I enjoyed inspiring them. So I called my boss back in about 60 days and I said, I think they need 2 hours of inspiration. They're really nervous. He goes, okay, do 2 hours. In 2 hours, I would inspire them. And that thing woke up in my belly again. And then I said, so boss, if I agreed to come in a day early, can I spend half a day just inspiring them on my own time? You don't have to pay me. And then the next day we start the training. He goes, okay. So then my 2 hours went to 4 hours. And that thing woke up in my belly again. I didn't know that young woman at 24, looking to inspire the administrative staff at DUI facilities so that she can help them install computers, would be this woman standing in front of you. So your purpose, it will evolve, it will morph, it will expand. But what you have to commit to do is to stay in action. Purpose isn't discovered while you're docile. Purpose isn't discovered while you're stagnant. Purpose isn't discovered while you're sitting and thinking about purpose. Purpose is uncovered when you're in action, doing the things that feel like they might feel good, doing the things that feel like they're going to be in service, and then something jumps in your belly, and you just walk in that direction. But you have to be in action in order to uncover the next best version of you. Remember, this show is not just a monologue. If you're new here, welcome home. This is a place where we have delicious, dynamic dialogue. So I've done my part. I've shared a little with you. Now I want to hear from you. What was aha for you? Have you been discovering that purpose? Have you been working to discover that thing? And did you realize, Lisa, I didn't think of this. Or, oh my God, that is so me. That's so Yana. You are not alone, Lisa. Or BOL. I realize now that I got to do what? Talk to me. Tell me what that is. I hope I give you value. And the value that you give me back in exchange is a dynamic dialogue. So please, leave a comment below. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so. What you waiting on? And always look out for more delicious conversation. After all, this is your home. And we right here, we're your tribe. And I'm your sister in prosperity and in possibility. And every single time I say, can you say it with me by now? That I believe in you and that I love you. It's because I do. I'll see you real soon.
All right. I hope you picked up what she put down. Okay, that's Lisa Nichols, one of my mentors. She focused on how not to lose yourself or not to lose sight of you. All right, you can have many hats and you can know who you are in different arenas, but who are you? All right, that's what you need to find. She talked about how your purpose evolves with you. Sometimes you get to a point in your life where what used to spark you up doesn't anymore. And, working along your journey will find something else that sparks you up and then you get into that. All right, so be kind to yourself. Just know that you grow and so does your purpose. And you uncover your purpose. It is discovered while you are in action, not when you're sitting down and you're not doing nothing and you're stagnant and you're not in motion. When you're in motion and when you are walking, doing something, that's when you find out who you are. All right, so I hope you all had got something from this episode. If you want to share how you birthed your baby, please let us know in the comment section so that we can shout you out. I appreciate you all for tuning in. For those who will see this later, shout out to you for watching the replay. And until next time, I hope you have an amazing night, amazing day, amazing rest of your day, and awesome rest of your week. Until next time. Intellect's here, and welcome to Intellect's Artrepreneur Agency, the Indeed for Artists. If you want to be a part of the intellectual community, check us out. We have so much going on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and everywhere in between. And we even got our own app, okay? So make sure to check us out. Go to intellects.com. Go to our link tree. Look us up on social media at Intellects APC so that we can best serve you. All right, we thank you so much for being a part of our vision. We appreciate you. And we wouldn't be here without all of our amazing subscribers and supporters. Don't forget to sign up for the talent show every month, and someone always leaves with a prize. And don't forget to take advantage of all of our special offers, our events, our merch, our resources, our referrals, because we are here to serve you, okay? And thank you for the love. Until next time.